So I just came out after the rain stopped to check on my pomegranate tree. It's covered in blooms, but you know, it likes to droop. It kind of hangs over. In fact, it hangs over even when it doesn't rain. So I've got these stakes holding it up to keep the branches from falling flat on the ground. And this is what I found on my way to look at the pomegranate. There is a little spot here that somebody set up underneath this Jerusalem sage. And it looks like it's kind of staying dry there. So let's take a look here. Looks like a book bin of books here. Why We Live Where We Live, Moto and Me. Oh, that looks like a book about an animal. What else do we have here? How to Save a Species. Ooh, these are good. Ooh, look at the weather. Oh, that's a good one for a rainy day. So these look like books that maybe we would call nonfiction books. And then here, I see somebody has set themselves up with a clipboard and a pencil and some crayons. And there's like one of those animal toys here. Now, I wonder what they're gonna do. You know, those animal toys, sometimes they're really fun to use when we're drawing. We can take one of those realistic looking animals like I showed you yesterday, and we can draw them. And you know, we could even do science. We could start labeling them. Remember how to label things? You use a a line and you write the word at one end of the line, and the other end of the line touches the picture. So it's a way of telling people what something is in a picture. Anyways, I think I'd like to show you a couple other parts of nonfiction books. Let's go inside. Maybe we'll leave this little person to make their own nonfiction book. All right, we're back inside where it's nice and dry. And I'm going to show you some different nonfiction books, and we can learn about the different parts of a nonfiction book. Now, yesterday, we learned that nonfiction books are books that give us information and facts instead of stories or things from our imagination. So when somebody makes a book to give us information, they have to make sure that they organize it in a way that people can learn. So let's take a look. The first thing I want to show you is the title of a book. Now, the title of a nonfiction book is usually 1 or 2 words. It's not very long, but it's simple and it tells you exactly what's going to be in the book. You don't really have to use your imagination at all because it tells you. This book says frogs. And of course the picture matches. So you know exactly what's going to be inside this book. Here's another one. This one says clouds. And of course the book shows clouds on the cover. The title of the book is the first clue to the kind of information you're going to get in that book. The next thing I want to show you is called a label, and this is what I was mentioning outside. The label of a book is where we have a little picture, and then we have lines that go from a word to a part of the picture. That's called a label, and it usually is telling parts of things or describing what's happened. Here, it's an egg, and it's the parts of an egg. The shell, an air sac, the yolk, which is the yellow part, and the albumen, which is the white part. This is a really simple one, but if we look in a big book like this one, where it says everything dolphins, you can have labels that are very, very detailed. So here you've got a picture of a dolphin, and the lines actually lead to a couple of sentences and the main word. For example, on this dolphin, it says blowhole, and then it says dolphins breathe through a hole near the back of their head called a blowhole. Dolphins exhale and inhale extremely fast, taking a breath in 1/3 of a second. Air blasts from the blowhole at 100 miles an hour. The next thing I want to show you is called a heading. Now, on the cover of a book, you have the title. This book is called Bats, and there's a picture of a bat. But on the inside, there's something called a heading on almost every page. It's like a mini title. And this one says, Baby Bats. And what does the picture show? I see a mama bat and a baby bat, and I see that over here too. So I know that this part of the book is about babies, and I know that partly because of the heading. Here's another heading. It's called Hanging Out, and the picture shows bats hanging. So what do you think this section is about? Well, I think it's about bats hanging upside down. Maybe it tells us why they hang upside down. Maybe it tells us where they hang upside down. Maybe it tells us how they hang upside down. In any case, the headings tell us what a section of the book is about. The last thing I want to show you is called a caption. Here's the word caption. Now, the caption in a book is a sentence that's next to a picture. The sentence tells us what's happening in the picture, so we don't have to guess. It gives us more information in words about what we see in the picture. This one says, the sharp teeth of the leopard moray eel show that it hunts other fish. So we learn that it's a moray eel and that we're supposed to be noticing its teeth in this picture. Down here, it says a large koi carp is about to swallow a small goldfish. And in the picture, we can see exactly what's happening. We can see a little goldfish trying to swim away from this carp. I hope you had fun looking at all the many nonfiction books that I have here with me. And I have a challenge for you. I would love for you to find a nonfiction book. It can be a kid nonfiction book. It could even be an adult nonfiction book, because almost all nonfiction books have these same parts. See if you can find the title of the book. See if you can find a page that has labels, a picture with those little lines. See if you can find a caption. That's where you have that picture with words giving even more information. And see if you can find a heading. That's that little mini title that you'll find that tells you what's in a section of the book. All right, happy hunting!